I asked what you guys wanted to see, and a lot of you guys said to, well, show your editing and show your live edit. So as I mentioned in my giveaway, my update video, I want to start a series called I Edit. Basically, I'll live edit maybe a couple images. I have 5 that I want to do today from a recent wedding or event or anything I shot. And what we have right now is a wedding that I shot very recently, and I haven't even opened these up yet. And I picked a select few that I really, really like that tell kind of story of the day, that they're more fun. They're not just the typical shots, but I have the first one that we will do. I'm going to use Adobe Photoshop CS5 because that's the way I like to edit. Do anything, that I normally wouldn't do to do anything else. We're just going to do these 5 quick images and tell me what you guys think. Let's go. Alright, so here's our first image. It's a detail shot. The bride really wanted a shot of her shoes, and she said, here, take them. I really wanted to kind of bring in the dress in the background as well, so I wanted to show you this shot to show that these details is what they love. The client loved this type of shot because they're really, really important shoes to them. I think they were her great-grandmothers or grandmothers that passed away recently before the wedding. I couldn't see her get married, but this is what tells a story. This is part of the story, and I just figured, I'll show you a little bit of how I would edit this. So one of the first things I see is to see if I like the level. So normally, I'll go over something like this and just mess around with it a little, see if it's what I like. Actually that actually really kind of worked for me. Before and after. And I just go around until I feel very, very comfortable about something. I like the fact that it's cropped closer. So we're really good with that. I like to see if I like to play with it in black and white next, basically. So I'll go black and white, something like that might look really, really awesome. There's not a lot of color to the shoes, so that's really important. Maybe if there was a certain kind of color here that they wanted to stress that matched with the dress or something, or the theme of the wedding, you would go for it. But for something like this, I'm thinking a nice, awesome black and white, because that's going to pop out back here. So what I would do is I just drop saturation down 100%. Mind you, I am editing a RAW file, so I have really, really good control over everything. Maybe up the exposure just a slight touch, and I'm just going to crunch that contrast, see what it's doing. It's really bringing out everything. I'm going to pump the blacks up a lot, and this is where you get a nice, thick black and white. I'll just matter where you go. It's going to be a little bit of clarity to bring out some detail. And I'm liking this. Another thing I'll look into, sorry if I'm moving a little fast, this is how I do it. I'll usually pump the contrast first after I go into black and white. I think that's maybe a little bit too much black. I'm not liking the way that looks in the shoe here, but I don't mind it there. It really doesn't, do much for me. This is all window lighting. I think I had on this, or maybe I had a flashback here to light up the dress, so I had it off camera. So as I go in, I'll mess with the white balance because that'll help with the ambient tone or the overall tone of the image. And then I'll look to see if I want to use a lens correction, because I think I was using the 24-70. Yeah, I was using the 24-70 2.8. And as this, you get slight vignetting, slight, little compression. And I don't really mind the way it came out. So I'm absolutely fine with that. I might bring back a little bit to bring back some of the detail on the shoe. As you see, it was a little too hot down here. So I'm just going to dial that down a little bit, and I mean, I'm liking the way this is coming out right here. A little more contrast, a little more clarity. Do I want to bring this a little closer together? Maybe lose a little bit of the hanger. Yeah, I'm definitely liking that a lot better. I'm going to come a little tighter on this side. Yeah, it's way more even balanced. As of right now, as I said, I'm liking the way this is coming out. So the first thing I notice is this. This looks awful. So what I'm going to want to do, and I don't like the way this looks, is I'm going to crop. I'm going to have to crop this image. A lot of people are like, oh, why are you cropping? That's a no. I think that's ridiculous. If you need to crop, if you didn't see it before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I love a really, really nice tight shot for this, and let's see how this will look. I might be a little too far. Actually, no, that looks pretty good. I might just give it a little bit touch more headroom. But I was using mine at 70-200 for this one. It was extremely bright, and this was just a quick kind of almost candid shot that they were just standing there. We were waiting for the limo to pull up, and I saw them. I said, hey guys, look over here, and I captured, something really nice. It was hard to get him to really open up his eyes at times. So this is a decent shot of him. So we're gonna go here, and as I said, the first thing I like to see, if it will look good in black and white, we could do some selective color. No, we're not. I'm just kidding. I think it would be better in color because you have the color of the flowers that just go. That means pop. So I'm going to automatically look at my exposures. You see my histogram, which I don't always follow. I made a histogram video on if you don't know what I'm looking for. And I will see if my exposure was pretty much spot on. Do I want to drop it down a little bit? What do I want to do? I feel like my exposure was pretty much spot on. Maybe I'll just give a little bit more. And that's looking fine to me. I want to mess with the white bounce a little bit. It's a little too blue. I want to warm it up, make it a little nicer. They just came right out of their wedding. They just said, I love you, and I do. And we don't want, some cool photo like, oh, this is a sad day. No, we're going to, I think about 5,200, 53, whatever, is nice, and that'll look really good. One of the things that stuck out to me, too, was this detail here. Like, he is all kind of separated, but unfortunately there was a black door behind him, so he really kind of blends in. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to take away a little bit of the black detail, and that's never a bad thing, so don't think that's a horrible thing. As you see, it's just giving him, look, this is where it was, and this is where it is now. It just took a little bit away, separating him a little more, and you get the jacket back. So I'm going to bring up the clarity a little bit. I don't mind a little bit of clarity. This isn't some, glamour cosmopolitan type thing where you got to soften his skin and it looks great. Please don't ever do that. So that's looking good to me. The flowers, they're looking nice. I'll bring up the saturation maybe just a touch, just to make them pop a little bit. The yellow's got a little brighter, especially on his little thing up here. And I am liking this. Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this one. Maybe I want to experiment a little brighter. Maybe I want to go a little more orange. Because I don't want to lose the white and the veil 100%. Because if that goes orange, it just does not look good. Once again, lens correction. Let's see what this will do for me. See how it kind of like pincushions a little bit? I'm going to enable it because I want to have more control over the vignette that it gives. And I want it to flatten the image more. And it looks better in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my effects, and I'm going to just add a little bit of a slight vignette, and I am really, really, really liking that. It's once again, it's something subtle. I don't want to go too far because there's already, dark here, and I don't want him to blend in too much here. So with something like that, that is absolutely fine to me. I would be more than happy to deliver this to the client. One of the things I'm going to do here is, I know I'm not going to do a ton of skin retouching, but that kind of just stood out to me a little more. It's just prominent of where it's at, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to. I guess at that point it's just personal preference, but I'm just going to do it so it doesn't kind of detract from the moment. And bam, it's gone. You can't see it. Now let's go back out to fit in view. And it's not there. It's not prominent. You don't really see it anymore. So I'm liking that. Maybe I'll go in on the groom's face up here. Go in, and let's do a little bit of the same as well. Do a quick heel, and gone. Okay. As I said, I'm not going to get super, super, super crazy. I could, and I can just go around or something like that. I know that's the pin, so I don't really have to do, if I just want it so it doesn't stick out as much, let's see, and that essentially looks better. It's not as distracting. This literally happened very, very quickly. That's why my settings were a little off. As you see, my shutter speed was down. I was using a little bit of flash. I just had to go over, and there was a lot of ambient light in the room coming from. There was a window here, and then off to the left more, there was another window. So what I'm going to have to do, and I already know this, obviously my exposure, if you're a huge histogram buff, is off to the right, and it's very, very overexposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop it down, make it something a little more even, something a little more nice. And I'm probably going to go in and just kill that down. Do I want to recover that a little bit? Nah, because then I lose a little bit inside. So I'm not worrying about that. But possibly want to crop this down a little. And I don't mind that all this stuff is all over the place. It just adds to it. It's really cool. That lamp looks awesome. Matches her hair. Definitely playing that, right? Yeah, no, I didn't. So yeah, as I said, we're going to go in, and I'm liking the way this looks. Do I want to keep this in color? Do I want to go black and white? Ooh, this would look really, really nice in color. maybe a slight little maybe a slight little tone in there. So you get the red, you get a little bit of, oh, the shirt. It's not selective color. It actually looks kind of good. But let's see what it will look like with just a touch of color where you can barely even notice it all around. So we're going to go here, and we're just going to pump up the contrast. We're going to bring out the details. I'm loving it. Let's bring up the dark levels. You know, I'm not liking the way it's looking on her face, though. You know, we could do it a little bit. Let's mess with the white balance a little bit. You know, get a nice warmer hue. To me, this moment is looking awesome. I want to see what I could do if I want to adjust for this window a bit, because once again, that's just how it was when when we shot, and there's not much you could do about it. So I'm gonna go around, just you know, rough around the window, a little roughage, a little bit here. All right, and we'll just kind of stick with we'll stick with that. So let's go there. Let's see if we could just drop the exposure down a little bit. All right, we're down there. You can mess with the brightness a little too, and we could just kind of kill it down as long as it doesn't look unnatural. Yeah, see, that would look unnatural. So something like that would look a little better. As you see, this is where it was. We're just bringing it down. Once again, it's just something a little subtle. We totally understand that was really bright, but I'm not necessarily upset with that because I love this freaking moment. It's beautiful. Do I even want to get any closer? Do I want to, you know, miss out on some things? Let's see. Let's get closer. Let's get tighter, because that's one thing I like to say is to shoot closer, you show more emotion. Even better. Love it. I mean, I understand that that's a little brighter here. I'm not, once again, I don't care about that. My eye doesn't go there first. So this moment happened by complete accident. I saw the bride was sitting down with her shoes off because her feet were hurting her. Everyone was complaining, you know, the girls were complaining that their shoes were hurting her. The groom was tired. He was laying up against the statue behind him. So I snapped a quick couple of the bride and groom together, and then I realized that, you know, we got to have some fun. We were down a little bit. We were shooting for a while. They just had the wedding, you know, everything. We came right out to the art museum. He ran up the rocky steps with his guys, and then, you know, we went to field. We shot, and it was just getting long. It was very hot out. So it was just that type of time where I said, you know what? Let's shake it out. Let's loosen up and have some freaking fun. So we did. So for some reason, it cut off recording. So as I was saying, we have a lot of split toning here, and I just want to drop the saturation, and this is going to be definitely a black and white image. It's just how it's going to be. It's how it has to be. So we're going to go in, probably drop it down a little bit, do something really cool with this one, drop the blacks a little bit. Definitely want to pump up the contrast some. You know, we're going to get something pretty epic out of this. I'm just going to go nuts on this one. So just follow along. Boom. I'll raise the white balance to get some more in their face a little bit. If you bring it down, that brings up too much shadow. I want to throw in a touch of fill light, even it out a little bit. That looks fine, but recovery will, you know, help the sky a little bit. So we'll do that. It helps on the dress too. Let's raise the clarity a little bit. That'll help bring out some emotion. So keep trying. Do you want to do something really unique? Man, that looks awful. You know, something like that is going to work. You know, do you want to work the black level? Do you want to bring it out? Do you want to make it stand out? Yes, there are shadows, but this is a heck of a moment. You know, bing, bang. All right. More contrast. Will that help? Will that make it better? What I would probably do is I want to go in and just lighten the faces up a little bit. As I see, there's a little bit more shadows. So I'm going to go in and let's just do what it normally does. Just go in, drop the feather size down a little bit. You know, boom, boom. Show the mask. You know, let's go around. Let's do a roughage around here. His face a little bit. You know, he's got some action going on. She's got some going on too. And that's just the way it's going because of the light. And he's just, you know, over and over. You know, it doesn't look as natural. She's got some spottiness on her because of her hair. Boom, boom, Boom. All right. All right, so we have that going on. Let's fit that back into view. And let's mess with that exposure a little bit. Let's give it a little raise. You know, so here's where it was. It was down. It wasn't that good. You know, that's where it was. You say it's in shadow. But I want to bring that up a little bit. Just something slight, just so it just gives a little bit more detail. And as I said, I'm liking the way that looks. Yeah, did I forget? I got pretty much what I want. So we're going to go back in, do a little bit more exposure-wise. Does it look good natural? Does it look like a little bit of flash? I think it looks better. You know what? I'm liking that a ton now. All right, so we have that. That looks good. I didn't add a vignette or anything, did I? I didn't really do much. I'm going to add a slight bit more to draw the attention in. Let's add grain. Just kidding. Let's see. I'm feeling this image. I mean, as I said, I like the way it looks. We still have detail in the dresses. We got a little bit more detail in the face. This is an awesome candid moment. I know they liked this photo as well when I sent them the proofs. Not everything is perfect on a wedding shoot. As I said, if I had the time to set up soft boxes and different kind of lights, I would have, but you won't get moments like this. You won't get the candids, and this is what makes a wedding fun. It's not just a typical, here's the ring, here's the kiss. It's all this little stuff. As I said, you're going to get harsh sunlight. You just got to learn how to deal with it. So let me know if you guys want more of these types of live edits down below. Let me know. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. You know, let me know down below. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Thank you for watching iLive.